Welcome to Assist Legal. This is Sisceley Banks, legal assistant. Welcome to my channel, the legal support channel for paralegals, legal assistants, legal secretaries, legal administrators, HR directors of legal offices, law firms. Welcome. If you're not in the legal field, some of this can help you as well. So welcome to the channel. I offer support for legal support staff. All right, so we are in a new year. So how did it go with those evaluations? Now, some of you have your evaluations coming up this month. So so I hope you did well. If you didn't, hey, you know what? You have another year to start fresh. So some of you may even have gotten the pink slip. Don't worry about it. Just start fresh elsewhere. And each time that you start elsewhere, it usually gets better as you go on, but you gotta pick these offices carefully, okay? Check their track record for employees. Are they going through people like water? Is there a reputation about the firm? You can go to Glassdoor. You can ask a temp service. They can let you know what's going on in regards to a firm and them keeping their employees. It's always risky no matter where you go because you never know what you may run into, but don't be too picky. There's a part you have to play as an employee, legal support person, and a part that they have to play as well. So it's a two-way street. So you just got to tread very carefully. So as far as post-evaluations, I talked in the last video about preparing. Don't be scared. Be prepared. So I hope you asked some good questions and had whatever you had need of. I hope you had that taken care of. So here's some things to think of post-evaluation. Is it a place you want to continue? Were you encouraged to do better? What resources were you referred to? That is important. It just made me think not too long ago, when you're going in as a support staff person, besides just going there, doing the work, giving it your 100%, 110%, what's being poured back into you? It's very rare to find an office these days where they are pouring back into you resources to help you be better at your job. I haven't seen an office like that in a really long time. There was one place I worked. It was employment litigation. I also have experience there. And they had multiple resources, videos, even hands-on training we could call into to help us with setting up appeal brief documents, with the section breaks and all that. There was training for that. We didn't have to pay anything. The firm had it. And we just had to set up a time and a date and let our attorneys know that that's what we were going to do. Just something to help us out. We're not pulling this stuff out of thin air. Some of us need help. Some of us know what to do. Some don't. And it's a job. It's very risky to just wing it. So there needs to be proper training. As I said before, anything you don't know, feel free to Google it. Google it on your phone, not the work computer, because they can track that. If you want to, you can, but I would say Google it on your phone. What's it going to hurt? There's all kinds of YouTube videos on how to. So what's it going to hurt? And if you're certified, good thing about that is you have a support system you can call and reach out to some other sisters. That's a part of the, it's called NALA, National Association of Legal Assistants. You can look that up online. I'm going to put that in the description below. You can look that up online and you can get certified through them as a legal assistant. If you want to go that route, you can. But nice thing about that, they have study groups. And if there's anything that you need to know, you don't know, you can always call. And they may be working at another firm or office within your area, within your state, particular to the law of that state, Michigan, New York, Georgia, wherever. And say, hey, my boss wants me to file such and such motion. What do you know about that? And they can either send you a draft or tell you where to go or what to look for. Maybe it's a form that needs to be filled out with the court. They can direct you specifically to a website, or just slip you a copy through your email. And there you go, so it's good to have connections. And that's one way that you can get connections as well. So that's very helpful. And if you have someone on your job that can help, that's great. They can get that to you as well. You can ask your attorney sometimes, there are attorneys that do exist that do want their employees to do well on their jobs, and they can get you a draft, or they can direct you to a link or something, or a folder within the firm where you can go and look at all various drafts of how to do something, or this is the form setup. Like when it comes to when a case is settled and they want you to file the closing documents, get all that ready, the release, the settlement documents. So closing documents, meaning the stipulation in order to dismiss. I'm not sure how other states do it, but here I'm in the state of Michigan. And we do the release, we do the draft for the checks to the clients, or maybe we're sending the checks out wherever the checks are coming from. We make the check requests out, prepare the release, and prepare the order of dismissal. I want to make sure you're closing the files out, any medical records or whatever records that are being produced, make sure that's stopped. No more, whatever invoices need to be paid off, just making sure, boom, 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 that you're hitting those things all in one. So just things like that. So as a pep talk, post evaluations, going forward, if you want to stay, that's great. If you got a great evaluation, you got a bonus, you got a raise, you're told, hey, things are excellent, that is great. So keep at it. Anything you want to refresh, anything, is there a class you may want to take, or maybe you want to try something altogether. So it's really up to you. So if they like what you're doing, then go ahead and continue. Stay fresh. And don't forget, since this is a new year, you want to stay fresh at whatever area of law you're practicing in. Make sure you're fresh with any laws that's changed in regards to those areas, whether it be employment litigation, whether it be medical malpractice, or real estate, probate in estates, insurance defense, personal injury, just according to your state. Just make sure that you are being updated on any changes of law. I mean, your lawyers should definitely be on top of that. And so if there are any changes to, as a new year, any changes to the law for the particular area where you're practicing, your attorney should be sharing that with you. You shouldn't be feeling your way in the dark of, gosh, I wonder if anything's changed or if things are the same. You know what I mean? So you guys are a team, and if you find out before your attorney, then feel free to share that as well. But it's like I said, it's a two-way street. So all of it shouldn't be sitting on you. They know the law. We know the procedures. They know the law. So there are court rules. There's you can get those online. There's books. There should be books of the court rules in the office, within the office. I know everything is so digital these days, so a lot of people are just searching everything online. I can just look up a court rule online. Okay, fine, if you want to go that route. But myself, I am a book person. And I like to just have my book of court rules tabbed, for like where to find the procedures for getting out a summary disposition, appeals brief after a case has been either granted or dismissed, how much time is left over for reconsideration. And just making sure those dates and everything is all set up. So I like that. So I'm going to talk about that in my resources video and how to do that and how to set that up. So there's that. And if you got a not so great evaluation, maybe you got skipped over for a promotion, maybe you got a warning, maybe you got put on probation, For those of you that are on probation at this point, you got, do you know what went wrong? Did they tell you what went wrong? Did they give you examples of things that went wrong? Did they make it clear of what the repercussions or consequences were or are when something like that happens? Because it's not enough to say, okay, if they're giving you a scale of 1 to 5 and you see a whole bunch of 2s and 1s, that's a problem. What went wrong? Did you get any warnings throughout the year of those particular things? When did things fall apart? Has it always been that way? If it wasn't, is it a 3 strikes you're out? Did they call you into the office and say, hey, we noticed XYZ? When this happens, these are the results. So this is what I want you to do. Did you get anything like that? Did you get anything in writing? You know what I mean? If you're on probation, for how long? Do you know how long? And at that point, if it's like dominoes, if majority of the support staff there is on probation, that's a problem, and I wouldn't stay there. Something's wrong. And as I said, you want to be somewhere where you can flourish, not where you are being oppressed, depressed, being talked down to, or things are just being thrown at you. And it's like, we're over on this space and you're over in that space. I give you the work, just do it. It's 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever, get out and go home. That sucks. And that sucks big time. And you shouldn't have to be in an environment like that. If that's the way you want to go, then that's on you. But you're not going to flourish much in an environment like that. It does something to your temperament. It does something to your confidence as well. So when you're with a good team, the work performance does improve. It really does, because there's, if there's more finger pointing and, oh my gosh, what is this? Well, how much time do you spend together talking some things out? You can't be that busy that you can't meet and you can't talk some things out and say, hey, you know what? Why don't we start doing this? Why don't we start doing that? I think let's try this way. So if your job is kind of on the line, then at this point, do you want to stick it out or do you want to go? You make that decision. Don't let them decide. You make that decision, because you shouldn't place your future in somebody else's hands. You have control over that. So, and you already know, if it's over. So I'm going to go through some things letting you know of when it's over. Like I said in one of my videos, if it's over, then things will go silent. The work that they're giving you is diminishing. Nothing coming in, and communication is completely cut off. Barely getting any emails. I need you to do this. Other people around you are starting to do your work, and doors are closing. All communication is just being shut down. So when you walk in, people start walking a different direction. That's one. So the avoidance, you're dealing with people avoiding you, and that's just crazy. Who wants to go and deal with that crap? See, I'm telling you these things because when you're taking these classes, whether you're getting a BA, not a BA, BS of science and legal assisting, or you're in a certified program or whatever, they're not preparing you on how to handle these offices emotionally. I mean, they're just doing their job, telling you how to do it. This is what procedure, this is what we do, and blah, 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 whatever. But, I'm telling you these things now because I don't want it to hit you like a Mack truck when you're getting out there, when you're just graduating from the program. You're like, yay, I get to work in an office. I get to stretch my muscles. You need to be prepared because there's people in the office that really don't want you to do better than them. I'm going to talk about that as well. Maybe I'll squeeze it in later in this video, but that's that. Oh gosh. Boy, I could tell you some stories. But yeah, when you're in the office, it's not Disneyland. You got some people that don't mind you doing well, and other people that are they may feel threatened. that you may know a little more than them, or that you're productive, or that maybe you have another way of doing something. And it's people on the job as well that will try to get you fired if they feel maybe you're too close to the management, if they just feel like you're in the way. There are people that will try to take things off your desk or slip things in a pile, something that maybe somebody was looking for. You walk away and they're slipping things in a pile that's on your desk. You know what I mean? So, in a nutshell, not everybody is for you when you go into an office and work, no matter where you are, whether it's a legal office, a factory, a hospital, wherever. That's just the reality of life. It's sad, it's a shame, but don't let that affect your work performance, because at that point, you are not the problem. That's them. That's them manifesting their own insecurities. And, there's therapy for that. And you ain't got time to be walking around playing therapist with people that are insecure. So you're dealing with other people's insecurities, and that has nothing to do with you. So I'm going to help you stay on top of that. All right. So we will get to that. But when you know it's over, so you're dealing with people that are avoiding you, going a different direction, your work is diminishing. And also, if your boss is a little nervous around you, it's strange, but it's true. And they lack eye contact. They won't give you any eye contact because they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They're looking, like I said, they're looking out for themselves. They want to make sure they're covered. So in return, you need to make sure you're covered. This is why I also said in the last video that you need to update your resume every 3 to 6 months. That helps you. So you're not scrambling trying to figure out, okay, well, this is what I did. And then check your format. Some things you can take off. Some things you want to add on to it. Go right on ahead. Go ahead and refresh your resume. It's the first of the year. I encourage everybody, refresh your resume. Just do it anyway. It could be around the layoffs, it's not always something that you did. Oh my gosh, some offices will have to downsize, depending on the workflow that's coming in. And for a lot of us in the legal field, a lot of us are being seriously overworked. I'm hearing a lot of that too. And people are not staying there. It's been a lot of moving around. Just go on Indeed and look at the job ads. No matter where you're at, what state you're in, go to Indeed and look at the job ads. It's ridiculous. And then look too at what they're paying. Some of that is like, you got to be kidding me. They're already going to work the hell out of you and barely want to pay you $40 a year. That's ridiculous. And so that means, you don't have to be cheap labor. It's just up to you and how you want to navigate that. But just take a look. The further and further I get in this profession, I'm just noticing a lot of moving around. The max you find a lot of us these days staying is about 2 years. So, and then it's off to something else. And I was just talking to a family member about that, why so many are moving around. For one, either they don't like the management, they don't like the pay, they're being overworked, or they just got a better deal. And then, yeah. So it is what it is. But at some point, you got to stick it out somewhere. At least give it a year. Some of us aren't even making it that long. And you got to think, you're going to have to explain that at your next job, depending on where you are. So, just like they're looking, you're looking too. And you don't want to jump out of a pot into the lion's den either. So do your research on these offices and on these firms. You're not going to find a perfect one, but it's always good to pair up with a good team. Not one that's going to throw you up under the bus or just suck everything out of you and discard you. So another thing to look out for as well, sometimes when, if you get hired too quickly, in my opinion, it's kind of a red flag because they're not doing a lot of research on really who you are, where you work. They just need people to come in and work. Like, okay, why do you need this addition to your office? That's a good question to ask in an interview. Is this an addition or is this a replacement? And One of the things too I found online is there are these things called ghost job postings. If management knows that their team is working extra hard, really putting the hours in, and people are just they're even there on the weekends, barely spending time with their families. They're just going and going like, we need help. And so management says, okay, we're going to do a job posting. So some are being very tricky, and they want to save money. So wherever that money is going, I don't know. But to save money, what some of them are doing, I know is shady as hell. It's shady. But what they are doing, they are telling the support staff, okay, we're gonna try to get somebody. Just hold on. We're gonna interview. We're going through interviews, but people just don't seem qualified. Everybody's not stupid. So what's really going on? And some are saying, oh, we just can't find anybody, y'all. Just hang in there, give it a couple extra months. You're going to break down your support staff. What's really going on here? And some are just flat out lying. They're not interviewing people, or they'll even go as far as to interviewing people, knowing darn well they're not going to hire anybody for the next several months. But they want the support staff to believe that, to keep them working so they won't leave. It's true. It's true. There are companies that are doing that. They're lying to their office. Oh, yeah, we just can't find anybody. Who the hell are they interviewing for? The President of the United States? Come on. Everybody's not stupid. So that's just something, that's another thing just to think about. Everybody's not stupid, and it is what it is. So you have a decision to make, stick it out or move elsewhere. So I'm just letting you know there's this thing called ghost posting. Some places of employment, they're doing that just to keep just to keep their staff working. To give them a little hope, like if they just go ahead and tell them like this is how it's going to be for the next 6 or several months. People are going to start to leave like, this is too much. But some places are doing that, and this, in my opinion, that's shady and that's wrong. And that's too secretive, and it's, in my opinion, that's not right. Not every office is doing that, but some are. And if your office is doing that, that's shady and it needs to stop. So yeah. So that's one. Another thing is some offices, they're hiring people, and it's not so much that they want whatever you're carrying, whatever they see that you have, they want it. They want a piece of it, and whatever that thing they want from you, they want that to go towards someone else in the office. So when they're done getting whatever they thought they could get from you or already got from you, then what happens? I've seen this happen. Okay. I've seen this happen. I'm not lying. Then they'll create a narrative of incompetence. Yeah. All of a sudden now you don't know how to do your job. Since when? And once they're done, then they'll try to discard you. They'll build that narrative of incompetence. Oh my gosh, even go as far as putting you on probation. I don't know if this is going to work. Oh my gosh. So all the stuff, the little systems that you have, whatever knowledge or additions that you have to the firm, they don't went and took that and ran with it. And now they're done with you. They don't want you there anymore. So whatever you have that's valuable, don't be so quick to dish that out. They may make it seem like, oh, well, if you don't share what you have, we don't want you here. You're useless. No, because while you're in that probationary period, when you're starting a new job, they want to see how you work. And in return, you need to see how they're running things in the office. So that's a period also for you. And you decide what you want to do. This is what I'm talking about. You have control. Don't let them decide what your future is going to be. You decide. Because this is your job. I understand from the flip side, from a business, you want the right people working in your business, but from the flip side, on the other side, on your side as well, you want to work with a good team and not people with tricks up their sleeve. You see what I mean? So the longer you get, the longer you stay at a place, it does get better. It does get better. You learn new things. I'm hoping you're learning new things. Your work performance gets better. You know things go a little more quickly. But be patient with yourself as you're learning new systems. Maybe your company got a new software. Hey, that's great. There's something new you can add to your resume. Learn that and learn it well. Get to a point where you can train somebody. That's always a good option too, because that shows that you've mastered that area. Now, on a side note, if you've gotten to a point where you know everything already, but you're not learning anything new, you're the smartest one in the office, you're the smartest one in that area, you're not being challenged with something new. So, what does that mean in the future? You might have been there 10, 12, 15, 20 years. What are you learning that's new? You see what I mean? Do you care to learn something new? To those of you that don't mind, you know, is that really what you want? You want to stay in this bubble? And the reason why I'm saying that is because if there's a layoff and you're not there anymore, you've been in that bubble so long doing the same thing over and over again, not learning any new software, not learning anything new about the state law or any kind of procedures, you haven't gotten any kind of certifications. Well, what's going to happen if that firm or that office closes? And then you try to get out there and get another job. They're using an entirely new system, a system that you don't know of. You see what I mean? So you can reach out to a temp service, and some of them have learning portals where you can improve your skills with Microsoft Word, um, with scheduling. So it all depends. Connect with your local temp agency and see if they have a learning portal for you, so you can stay fresh in your office skills. Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Word, Excel, Microsoft Access. Two things that are major: Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel. So get really good in those two. And also Adobe Acrobat, how to convert those Word documents into a PDF. And you can convert a PDF back into a Word document. You know what I mean? How to do easy cleanups, how to do grammar checks quickly so it's not taking you so long, how to do those page and section breaks um, without screwing up everything. Table of contents, that's always a challenge. And if a case gets sent to federal or court of appeals, now you're dealing with table of contents and table of authorities and all that other stuff. Get really good at those things. These things will help you on your next job. Okay, so don't paint yourself in a corner. I like this is what I'm doing. Anything could happen. It's 2025. We got some crazy things coming up. You know what I mean? So just make sure you prepare yourself. And that's one thing. So just keep that in mind. And also, just be encouraged. I wouldn't take it too personal. Not every employer knows how to do an evaluation with an employee. It's sad, but true. Some have said some things that hurt. It could have been said an entirely different way. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And some are did it very well. Some did it one-on-one, some did it with all of your attorneys you work for. I always think that's best with everyone you work with. That way, that's just letting me know that there's nothing shady planned. But if there are any issues, I would say put it all out on the table. I don't like when XYZ happens. I really like when you do this. Let's just get it all out on the table. You see what I mean? Quick story. I had an evaluation. I was working for an insurance defense company. It was a big insurance company. And it was a weird evaluation system they had. It had a weird name to it and everything. And the things that was written on my evaluations, you can sense when something's wrong. And from what I read, my HR director, she took shots at me. It had nothing to do with work performance. It was all on personality. My personality was different from hers. No, I'm the kind of person, you're not going to find me with the clique, gossiping about other folk in the office. So I come there, I say hi, good morning, I do my work. Sometimes I'll tell a crazy cat story because I have a cat, and keep it moving. I don't spend all that time. Hey, did you see what happened on TV? There's work to be done. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be nasty to you. I'm not going to trash you to other people in the office. So just the comments that she made, it hit hard. And I said to myself, okay, something's wrong. I don't remember what was on that evaluation, but I couldn't read through most of it. I'm like, this is personal. And she was one of those persons kind of with a strong personality. Like, I don't like quiet people, or you're just different from me and I don't like it. But whatever it was, she could have called me into her office and talked about it. She didn't have to vent on the evaluation. So when I had my evaluation with her one-on-one, um, I asked her up front, I said, I've never done this before, ever. And I had to ask because it was personal. And in my opinion, you don't put things like that on an evaluation. It had nothing to do with work performance at all. It was kind of like, you're different from me. She could have gotten in trouble for that. And I asked her, I said, okay, have I done something to offend you? I had to ask. I said, have I done something to offend you? And she looked, she was like, no. No, why? And I said, based on this, and I read it back to her, based on this, I'm getting a sense that you're upset about something. Did I do something? And she was like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. Well, then put something else. It's on my record. Really? And after that, I never got any other problems from her. I never got any other comments like that ever again. But I had to put it out there because you can tell, you can get a sense, just trust your gut. You can sense where, if something's not right. And I definitely felt that wasn't right. She didn't take it off the evaluation, but it was just like personality differences. Your personality is different from mine's. Kind of like a push. You need to be this more. You need to be that more. First of all, you're there to do your job. It's a law office, not a country club. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I'm glad I was able to ask her if I had done something to offend her. And it was an office that went through a lot of people. So that was a red flag right there. And yeah, it was what it was. But I didn't stay long at that one. Anyway, their whole system and the way they were doing things were all screwed up. So if there's something, even if you've already had your evaluation and you felt like some of it might have had a personal tone, feel free to go back and ask, even though it may be over. Don't feel like you can't ask. Just go ahead and ask anyway, even if they say, oh, well, that was a month ago. Like, oh, why didn't you say something now? Like, well, I'm saying it now. It's like, I know you guys are busy, but I meant to bring this up, but I just forgot. But what did you really mean when you said XYZ? Feel free to ask. And if anybody has been giving you a hard time, that should have been brought to the table. It's not too late. You can still bring that up. Nobody wants to go to work and be bullied. That's not funny. There's a job to do, and you want to do it to the best of your ability, and you don't want to go there feeling intimidated or bullied. I've been up that route too. Quick story. This is one of the jobs I had when I was fresh out of school. And one of the attorneys, he had fun. He had fun poking and picking at me and making jokes. One of those things being picked out as a quiet girl. And at the time, I was new. I was the only minority in the office. That was a red flag. And he sent emails. He even put his hands on me. And I called and made a report to HR. And after that, I think he got a slap on the hand, and he ended up putting his notice in. If you didn't do anything wrong, why are you putting your notice in? So it was one of those things. They called him a bully. And it was like, don't do that again. And what happened with me there, they went and hired somebody. I kind of got pushed out of there. It was one of those things, you didn't have enough experience. So we're just going to, in a nutshell, they probably didn't want a lawsuit, which is why they got me out of there. I could have filed something, but I didn't, because at the time I didn't think I had a case. And who would they really believe, a secretary or a lawyer? But if you're in a position where you are being harassed verbally or sexually, you need to get out of there and you need to make a report. So contact your local EEOC office, tell them what happened, and make your report. Make sure you have all of your documentation. If there were emails sent to you, if there was, I hope you're keeping a track record. If you're being mistreated, if you're being bullied, if you're being harassed, make sure you are keeping a track record of when these things are happening, because that they're going to want documentation of that. When did that happen? How did you handle it? Were there any witnesses? And things like that. So it's sad, you just want to go to work and do your job and do it to the best of your ability. But unfortunately, there are people that come to the office with other agendas, and some of them are not good people. So it is what it is. It's not just a law office, it's in hospitals, police departments, whether you work in a supermarket. It's really sad, it's crazy people out there, but there are people out there that can help you and can get justice for you. So please don't stay quiet for things like that. You just want to do your job, get paid what you're worth, and then keep it moving. What else? So that is my spiel on post evaluations. So I hope you learned something, and just be encouraged. The things that they say, it might have hit you. Maybe you did drop the ball. I mean, at least, own up to your stuff. If you drop the ball, okay, pick the ball back up. They're giving you another shot. Do it to the best of your ability. And here's another little tip. Don't go around telling the other secretaries what they told you. Okay? Like I said, not everybody in that office is your friend. Wakey, wakey. Okay? There's some of them that don't want you doing well, and they want you out of there because they feel you're a threat. So you ain't got to say, yeah, they said XYZ. And some of them even have the audacity to ask, hey, did they give you a bonus? That's not their business. It is not their business if you got any kind of bonus or raise. You keep your mouth shut about stuff like that. That ain't nobody else's business, because all they want to do is do a comparison. Well, did you get more than me? Well, did you get, you know what I mean? So just protect yourself and just keep your mouth shut. Like, how'd it go? You just tell them up front. Be like, oh, aren't those things confidential? Oh, yeah, but did they say none of your, tell them up front, none of your business. That's my business, not yours. Don't worry about it. Next, like, I'm trying to be rude, but these things are confidential. I'm not under any obligation whatsoever to discuss with you. And keep it as that. Now, some of them are even trying to manipulate it out of you. No, go do your work. That's what you do. So, in a nutshell, just make sure that you have everything in order, learn from your mistakes, and keep on going. And keep in mind that you're also human. They're human. Blows my mind how some management don't want to own up to the things that they do wrong. You know what I mean? And you're not there to be somebody's scapegoat either. So if you're taking hits from other people, you're taking hits for other people and it should be directed elsewhere, that's not right either. You don't have to stick around and tolerate that. You have a choice. So I really hope you're with a good team. I really hope you're learning things, learning some new things, coming out of some old habits, some bad habits. So this is a fresh new year, a fresh new start. And you're amazing. You're amazing. It's always great to get good feedback, but you have to know where you stand, and you have to know that you have something good on the inside of you. So don't take it personal. If you're ready to move on and look for a new job, go ahead and do it. Do it for you. Why not? You don't have to stay in a toxic environment. That affects your work performance. Don't say, well, I don't have a choice. Yeah, you do. You have a choice to go. You always have a choice. So stick it out. If you want to move on, go ahead until you find something new. It's up to you. But it's the beginning of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, refresh your resumes, get things ready. And also, just a little note also, try to get some things at home. Just in case we get another viral outbreak or whatever, make sure you have what you need at home, like a laptop, internet access. If you need a second monitor, go ahead and get that. Get these things now. In fact, I would encourage you to do that, and I'm going to do the same. We may go on lockdown again, so it's the beginning of the year. I know it's tax return season too as well. I want you to make an investment and get some things to work with at home if you don't have it. Make sure you do. And that's a good step. That's investing in yourself, investing in your profession, which is good. So just make sure you're up to date. And that's all I have for you today. See you at the next video.